out of my Discord. Whoa, bring this back. There it is. There it is. Okay. So I can see the chat on this side. Right. So I've got this B9 RS5 I'm working on, and I need to try and pull this out. I'm not liking how it's not focused on the entirety of the car, but regardless, let's just dive into it. We're gonna pull some of this contrast into this, and we might try and pull some of these highlights back. That makes that hunter green really pop. But lift these shadows. What does that do for us? I guess what vibe am I going for? Oop. I think I might try and pull some of. I might try to play off of the green hues here, and I'm going to try and bring the building down, maybe bring the exposure down up here just a little bit, but still make these greens be visible. And I want to try and make this hunter green pop on here. So let's see what we can do on this RS5. Bring some of these whites down, play around with it. I always like to mess around and look to see like what kind of reflections I'm getting, see what pops when I do this. Like as you see here, the paint on the front of the car starts to pop a little bit more, but you can also hit option here and you can see what you're crushing. And for instance, right there, you can see right at the front of the car, at the side of that headlight, I'm starting to blow that out. So I might back that down just a little bit and maybe even all the way until it's no longer blown out. And I think like that's the play right there, is to just bring that down, because we want as much of that detail in that car to pop as much as possible. So if we bring these highlights down again, that brings out the detail. So maybe we can just brighten this image back up when we're going in and we're dealing with our curve. But as of right now, that's where we're going to land with the lighting. And then I'm not going to mess with color. I'm not going to mess with any of the effects. I'm not going to mess with anything other than I'm going to for sure denoise, because that's what gives me that crisp, clear image. So we're going to wait on that. Takes a little bit of time. How you guys doing today? Nobody in the chat? Nobody in the chat. Say what? Why? Come hang out, man. Put something in there. Drop something. Okay, that brings that image out. All right. I'm going to go in and I'm going to immediately start messing with my mask. I'm going to use a linear gradient. Pull this down here just a little bit. We're going to remove our sky and our subject. Remove our sky. We're going to remove our subject. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm going to try to bring this exposure down just a little bit. Maybe bring the highlights down. Yep. Because now we're trying to get the car to pop. So if I can bring these shadows down, I really want to try to get this building to be a little bit of a darker brown, because what we're going to do is we're going to play off of our green and brown hues, and that's how we're going to color grade. So I think I'm going to kind of just leave that there. I like the tonality of the trees. So let's create another mask, grab an object, and focus on that back. Oh, no. Undo. We might have to brush. So we're going to zoom in back here. We're going to create a mask, brush. We're going to bring our size down just a little bit, and we're going to just, boom. Stay away from our car to the best of our ability. This is the part that I like using my iPad for, because I can make sure that my lines are nice and crisp. What up, Riley? Let me get in here. Okay, so now that we've got that, I'm going to focus on the temperature of this just a little bit. And then I want to bring my darkness down. Again, we're looking for this deeper brown. That way, when we go to color grade, it'll help out. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to subtract and brush. You can see I have a little bit of brown kind of overlapping here. We're going to try and get as much of this out as we possibly can. Cool. So when we pop this image back, you're going to see that's a little bit darker of a brown there. It's not as brown as I think I'd like it to be, but we're just going to kind of leave that there. And then we're going to focus on drawing the attention to the car. We're going to do a linear gradient and bring this up. And we're going to subtract our subject. And then boom, we can bring our exposure down, making the ground a little bit darker, which brings our focus to the car itself. And we can now go into here and we can focus on the subject. So when we go in here and we focus on the subject, I don't want to touch this A8 that is next to it. So I'm going to go in and I want to subtract objects, and then I'm just going to kind of do this here and it will remove the A8. And now I have just the car, and we're trying to focus on getting this to pop as much as possible when it comes down to the color of the car without blowing it out. So we're going to mess around with this a little bit, because I really, really, really want to accentuate this hunter green. Let me see here, shadows. Bring these shadows up just a little bit. Bring the highlights down. I can bring some of the whites into it. I think I like this a lot right here. If I bring it all the way up, yeah. Bring this back down. Let me see feel like I can't see these comments. Am I missing any comments? I feel like I'm missing comments. If you're commenting, this is a new setup for me. I cannot, for whatever reason, see any of the comments that are coming through. I'm trying to just view this on my iPad. I'm watching my stream without being signed in on my iPad, and there's no comments coming through. So if that's the case, I apologize. I'm still trying to figure this streaming stuff out. But so I've got where I think I'm happy with the green. I think what I want to do here is I want to go back into my masks, and I want to remove the wheels from this because I want to focus on the wheels itself later down the line. So we're just going to put a little bit of this here. We're going to bring this down. We're going to move this over, bring this down. Make sure that we're just on that wheel. That way we're good. And then we can duplicate this and move this back here and then adjust it as needed as well. Again, I want to focus on the wheels a little bit later versus focusing on them now. So we're going to make sure we're not touching our paint, and we're good. Now that I've got the car kind of where I want it, I can go into my curves here and I can start to play around with some of these hues. So when you bring this down, this obviously takes exposure away. When you bring this up over here, it adds exposure, blows the car out. We don't want to do that. So you can go either way. I typically like to just kind of mess around with it and find my sweet spot, and then I can adjust from there. So if I bring this in and then bring this down, that really brings that green to fruition. Bring it back up. This is the midtones here. So this is highlights, midtones. This is your shadows. So if I bring my shadows back down, that green, that's it right there. That's so good. Here, if we bring this down, that's what it was before we used our point curve. This is what it is after we use our point curve. And that's not including any of the color grading or anything like that. I love you. Everybody say hi to Alani. My new baby girl. Isn't she just beautiful? All right, back to work. So we are going to, I think we're going to leave this here and leave our curves. We're not going to touch the temperature of this or anything. Ooh, you okay, baby? You all right? We're not going to, oh. Sorry, guys. We're not going to touch anything here. We're going to move to our wheels. I want to really focus in on trying to make this gold pop. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. But the gold is where it's at with this wheel setup. So, oh, computer froze. There it is. We go here, bring this up. I'm now going to mess around with my temperature here. I think I like that. I don't think I need to pull too much more. Yep. So I'm kind of happy with this. We might be able to bring our highlights up just a little bit more to get this wheel to pop. We don't really need to do anything too crazy because, again, if we blow this out, it's going to take away from the quality of the image itself. What's up, Kaylee? And we don't want to do that. So we're going to go in here. I think I'm happy with this. I want to duplicate this mask and bring this back. And drop. And boom. And now we've got that mask now applied to both wheels. So we're going to just, before we do any more color grading, this is where our image sits. What up? What up? This is where our image sits. So this is where we started. This is where we're at. And as you see, we got the green to kind of pop without taking away from the realism of the photo. And that was the whole objective from the beginning, was to just really get this car to pop and bring your eyes to the car. And I think we're there. So now what we need to do is focus on the color grading aspect and see if we can really put some personality into the photo. So that's where we're going to go. And I'm going to go down here. I really don't need to mess with any of my colors because I think I'm happy with where those are at. But when we're doing color grading, so you have your midtones, you have your highlights, you have your shadows. I'm working on it, man. I've seen this one and I'm like, man, I really, really, really want to get mine done, man. So bad. I gotta start looking at setups and pricing it out. But it'll probably be for next season if I had to guess when it was gonna be. But we'll see. We will see. But anyway, so now we are here and we're going to mess around. I'm going with bags. I haven't gave Josh a call yet. I haven't gave him a call. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time yet. But I'm going to today. So we need to try to find a brown here that helps us. So we're going to mess around. This is our highlights. So as you see here, no matter which way I go, I can really change the entire dynamic of a photo. Okay. I really want to try to insinuate some brown here. And I'm struggling to find a good point here. Saturation. I think this is like orange. It's like orange. I don't know. It's okay. I think we're going to leave this here for now. And we can adjust it as need be. And then our shadows, if we go over here and we bring this to the blues, I don't think I don't think it looks great. So I think I'm going to focus in on some green tone. Ew. What do I like here? I don't like my shadows in this photo at all. None of these fucking colors are complementing each other. Hmm. What's wrong? Okay. And then for our midtones, we're going to mess around and I want to see. I don't like that tint. I just don't like that tint at all. I don't know. I really feel like I don't need to color grade this, if I'm being honest with you. I don't. Can I see my chats in here? I cannot. Shoot. Well, if you're typing to me, I cannot see your chats. It kicked me off of the of viewing my live stream. I'm wondering if I can do this on my TikTok studio. Hold on one second. I'm live right now. Let me view it. It won't let me view my own live, bro. What? All right. Oops. So we're gonna go back here and focus on these. I don't know what I want for. I don't know what my vision is here, because these are my shadows. If I bring them down into the blues, it really makes it like a cool day, and we're in the sun. I really would like a. I think I like that. Yes, I do. I do like that. So if I go here and I try to bring, no, I don't think I like this. I wish I could get like a darker green here. This is our midtones. Maybe we can bring this down just a little bit. There we go. So we've got that orange there. This is what it looks like without it. This kind of brings just a warmth to the image just a little bit. I was kind of struggling with a color palette choice, and I didn't overdo it on the color grading here, but I think it just kind of insinuates the sun being at the front of the car, and I think I'm happy with where that is right now. I'm going to go back into my masks, and I'm going to make sure that I have some of my texture and some clarity added in here, because again, that's what we're going for. So we've got a little bit of texture here, brings the body lines out in the car. We might touch a little bit of clarity. Clarity can make the car look like this or really soften the car. Obviously, we want the car to be defined. We don't want to do too much though, because then it really creates some staticky lines. I'm not a fan of that. So I think that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think I'm going to stay here. Everything is good. If I go back to my optics, everything is good. Now we're going to focus on removing some people. I see this head back here. I'm not a fan. I want to see if I can maybe get these people out of here too. So let's click on this. I'm sure generative AI will pop up on here. The only thing is when it detects these people, you see these little lines here. I'm really hoping that it doesn't distort my car. So we're going to find out. We're going to delete this one because I know that will for sure mess with the body lines. We're just going to leave these here and let's remove. Oh, it did a good job. Okay. All right. I think I'm happy with this, guys. What do we think? What do we think? Drop in the chat. If you had to rate this picture and this edit right here on a scale of 1 through 10, what would you rate it? And I gotta see this. I want to see this here. Give me 1 second, guys. Marshall's POV. Boom. If you had to rate this edit or this photo here on a scale of 1 through 10, what would you rate this? Me personally, I think I give it like a 6. It's nothing crazy, but I think going from this to this, we'll leave this here, and this is where we're at. Me personally, yeah, I think I'm going to give this a 6 or a 7. I don't want to be overly confident. I really like the photo. I think it's a great photo. I'm excited to see what I do with the rest of the set here, but I really like the vibe of this, and I think we kind of nailed this one. Could be better, obviously. All right, let's have this. We're not going to remove. We're going to leave that there. Lily color. Yes. Copy. Okay. Do that. Leave that there. Paste edit settings. So now that we've got that all set up, we know where we need to be. Now we can just kind of take that preset that we made essentially from the beginning of the set, and now we can just apply it throughout the photos as we go on. The nice thing here is the only thing that we'll really have to focus on is just our masking and making sure that the remainder of the image looks good. If anything, we can always go back to our settings and make sure that we copy our masking. Yeah, see, like it didn't get us right quite there. So I'm gonna exit, I'm gonna settings, I'm gonna go to my masking, and I'm not removing people from this other image because there's a lot that will really mess with everything. So now we're gonna, boom, copy, we're gonna paste our settings here again. And now that insinuates and brings the feel of the photo that we had previously to this one. And some people might try to edit those people out. I am not. I think it gives a vibe to the show. So we're going to leave that alone and kind of do our thing. Now, one thing I do know is I want to look and see which of these images are the clearest in terms of detail shots. I like this one. Let's paste our edits. Dang, this is taking a minute. Now, this is taking a second. One thing I will say is when you're copying essentially your preset from the beginning of your set, as sunlight changes and as ooh, I don't like that. What is this? Why did it do this? Houston, we have a problem. No, so let's delete. That's okay. Delete. Okay, that's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this. Cool. Now, when we go to do this image, if we try to copy and paste where the sun was at the front of the car and try to put it on this, it's not going to work. But and I'll show you and I'll give you the example. But for now, we're just going to focus on wrapping this up. Mask for what's going on here. Radio. We can delete. Keep that there. I think I'm kind of cool with that. Okay, now let's go into create new mask, radio. Boom. Go in here. We're now going to focus on our color. So if we can bring our highlights up, I like that. Whites. Maybe bring that down, try to insinuate that gold just a little bit more. And then at our temperature, bring that temperature up just a little bit. And I think I like that. I don't think I need to do anything else with this image because it's a detail shot and it matches the vibe of the rest of the photo. Only thing I want to do is make sure that my denoise is selected here. So I'm going to go back, go into my settings, drop this, denoise is selected. So we're good. I think we're going to leave this image here, and we know that, okay, we've got our 2 front shots done. We've got our detail wheel shot. I think I'm happy with that. So now we need to figure out which photo we want to use of these 3. I don't want to use this one. There's too much clutter in the front. I think this here is probably going to be our best bet. So let's crop our image here. Boom. Get out of that. And then I think I'm going to paste these edit settings. We're going to see what it does. I'm more than likely going to end up having to revert that. What up? What up? How is everybody? I hope you guys are having a good day as we're waiting on these settings to go through. See, now this is what we don't want right here. There's a real bad greenish tint / green hue to this photo, which I knew was going to come. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. So first thing I'm going to check here is let's go into our masks. So we've got this. It looks like we've got some things messed up here. We're going to just take this, delete. Looks like we got the front of our image. We're going to delete. Yep, that fixes that. I do like this, but what's up with our sky? Can we bring our exposure up a tad? Maybe? No. Let's delete this. Let's delete this. Okay. Okay. I'm happy with this. Let's go to our masks again and go into our sky here. Boom. Temp. We're going to bring out that blue in that sky just a little bit. Okay, the image is coming together. Ah! I think this is my favorite shot here. I think 100% this is my favorite shot. What do you guys think of this? I don't even want to touch anything else. I think I'm kind of happy with this. I think I want to bring my shadows up a little bit more so we can see our tail end, but I think I'm pretty content with how this photo looks. I don't really want to add or take away from anything else. Trying to think. I think our color grade crushed it here. I don't think I'm going to take away from this. I think the only thing I might do is try to bring the shadows up just a little bit more. Yep. That's it. I'm happy with that. I think it really catches the vibe. It catches the mood of the photo. I think I'm happy with that. For those of you who are in here, what do you think about this? How do we feel about this photo right here? I give this one an 8 out of 10. I might be riding myself, but I think I like this a lot. I think it looks good. Jared, what's going on? How are you? What do we think of this image? This is where we started. This is where we're at. Nothing. Okay. Whoa. I think I'm happy with these, and I think I'm actually gonna go in on my Instagram. I'm gonna post this set now, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end my live. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope that this was informational for you. I do have a Discord where I do all of my creative stuff. There'll be times at night where I'll just go live in there and I'll be doing my editing. If you guys want to check that out, that link is in my bio. You guys can go in there. That invite is good. So you should be able to just join in and check out some of my work and also be a part of a community where we're just kind of chatting. So anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to get these photos up on my Instagram. Go check me out.